Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Breaking Cinematic Universes. I, of course, am Trevor, the Loki to my Thor, Patrick.
Oh, yeah. I like that one.
Actually, I'm more Loki than you are, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you're a little bit more Loki than me. Loki, huh? I would say so. And I'd say I'm more Thor in, like, say, the first or second Thor movie, where I'm a little more dense. Maybe not as comedic.
Dude, you've been married a while. You're also the Thor from Endgame.
I love Fat Thor. Absolutely love Fat Thor. I loved people trashing that, like, online before they are not understanding the whole aspect of what it meant to be Fat Thor, and the idea of your friend hit rock bottom, but your friends are gonna help you even when you hit rock bottom. That whole message was so good, and people saying, "Oh, they're fat shaming." I'm like, no, they saw their friend. They saw their friend in a terrible situation, and they helped him out, and it didn't change that love that they had for their friend.
Well, it also shows that the strongest of us can also be the weakest of us.
Yes, it really does. It really does, because he is a god. He is a god, lowercase g, if you will, in Marvel, or demigod, whatever you want to call it. In comparison, when you talk about Marvel versus DC, I mean, he's close to a Superman in regards to that that
Wonder
level.
Woman.
What?
He's more closer to Wonder Woman.
No, he's
They're
not.
both demigods.
Yeah, but if they fought, Thor would win. It'd be insane. I mean, Wonder Woman does not have anywhere near his power level at all.
Okay, so he's a combo of Superman and Wonder Woman. More Superman's powers, more Wonder Woman's backstory-ish.
Okay, backstory, sure. Backstory, yes. Power-wise, I'm like, if you get someone toe-to-toe, that's someone who could, deal damage, if you will. And honestly, Superman's weak to magic, and Thor's lightning, I believe, is magic-based. Therefore, he would be weak to Thor's lightning, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, this matters only when the writer decides that it matters. So anyone who's flaming on there saying, "Oh, well, this person could beat up this person," the writers just, they kind of bend things and make it work. So it happens.
Yeah, I mean, they've made some of the most, how do I put this politely? Really didn't matter.
Uh-huh. Sure.
But you're not here to hear us banter about who's stronger, who's not. Well, actually, I mean, you kind of are. But on this week's show, we are talking Snyder Cut.
Yeah. We got a new trailer.
Two new trailers, technically.
Oh.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, they did the black and white one first.
That's true.
And then they released the color trailer.
Yes.
And Zack Snyder has straight up come out and said, if he does a IMAX release, he wants to do it in black and white.
I don't mind black and white. Like, I love Mad Max, the chrome, black and chrome. I love that.
Wait, hold on. While you're talking about this, I'm gonna do you a favor. Just keep talking.
Sure. I love that. I love Sin City, which is, black and white with some steel, some colored.
Sorry.
Okay, it took me a minute to realize what you were trying to sing.
Apparently, when we use music from YouTube,
yep,
we get dinged for it.
Yep, it's stupid.
Even though we're not making a profit on this.
Nope. YouTube is making a profit, and therefore the person. So, one of the things that people like to do is they like to, if they know they're going to get a copyright strike, and that someone will monetize on their behalf, what they'll do is they'll make sure that they put in music that from another publisher, because then both of them have a claim, and neither one of them gets money unless they go through litigation. Ain't nobody gonna go through litigation.
Wow. I mean, YouTube probably has nothing better to do.
I could go on a rant about that. Look up DMCA. It's the worst written law that basically says YouTube is exempt. If you do something on YouTube, YouTube can't get sued. So YouTube just lets them go at it, lets people copyright strike, and the proof is on the person who is the defendant, if you will, who has been accused of copyright. The defendant has to prove that they're innocent, as opposed to them having, say, proof that you did something wrong or that you violated a copyright. The proof is on you to say, no, I'm innocent. And
No,
that's completely
so
backwards.
that's kind of something the roofing industry, which is what I'm in, is dealing with right now due to the Hurricane Eta.
Sure.
That bitch.
Yeah.
We tried to get people's roofs replaced.
Yep.
Through their insurance. So technically, we should be able to still try to get people's roofs replaced without them having to go through their hurricane deductible. Because, little known fact, it's on the insurance company to prove that damage was caused by the hurricane and that it wasn't there prior. Speaking of which, when's the last time you had your roof inspected?
It's been a while. I think that I want to say it was relatively new, but we'll talk about that. So anyways, legal crap aside, well, actually, I mean, there could be some legal stuff talking about Snyder Cut, but I wanted to talk about a few things that are kind of recent developments. So if you haven't been following like week to week as to what's happening on the Snyder Cut, I kind of wanted to give kind of a quick rundown of the stuff we know. And there's probably more that I'm not going to talk about, but stuff that I think is important in regards to the Snyder Cut. By the way, we still have no release date. Sometime in 2021.
I mean, I'm fine with that. I'm still trying to figure out. So I currently have an HBO app on my Amazon TV.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you're aware of this, but HBO and Amazon finally made a deal where HBO Max can be on their streaming services.
Good. I was waiting for that.
As well as Roku.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I click on the HBO Max thing, it takes me to the HBO app.
I'm assuming you already searched for the properties that would be in HBO Max, the DC properties, and they're not there?
I'm going to do a deep search, but...
Yeah, do a search, because like Titans and some other stuff will be on there that wouldn't be otherwise. I'm wondering if you're hitting the HBO Max database on the back end, but I don't know. Obviously, that's front end developer versus back end developer BS that you did not come to this podcast to listen to.
Ooh, you're getting so excited by talking about back end developers.
Oh, I love back end. You know what? Front end gets a lot of attention, but man, the back end is very special.
I guarantee you heard this right now, she'd come in and smack you in the back of the head.
Oh, she probably would. And by the way, if anyone who's listening to this has questions and they're like, why is this going on from a technical standpoint? I may be able to give you a general answer, which I'm actually doing in regards to shameless plug on the LANCave. We're going to be reviewing all the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. So I'll be talking about that in plain English so people understand what this tech is.
So real quick, before we get into our show, like the nitty gritty of our show.
Sure.
You've got both systems now.
Yep.
You've got both systems.
Mm-hmm.
Which one are you liking a little more than the other? Not without getting into too much, so that they'll still listen to the LANCave. But
PlayStation 5. Easy answer, PlayStation 5.
Really?
Like to the point where I've popped over to the Xbox and I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. I mean, Game Pass is great. Game Pass is an amazing value. If you're already playing a lot of Xbox, all your Xbox games come over with you, and that's awesome. They look good. But Xbox has got nothing that PlayStation doesn't have in regards to next gen. PlayStation has stuff you can't play on Xbox, and the developers are making games like, for example, we're playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And Assassin's Creed Valhalla on Xbox and PlayStation 5 look very, 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 very similar. I mean, the only way you could tell a difference is if you go to a company like Digital Foundry, who goes into all the nitty-gritty detail. The PlayStation 5 and Xbox, the load times are amazing on both. But I'm having more fun on PlayStation 5 because the library is next gen. The Xbox library is not quite there yet. They have a bunch of upgraded games like the Call of Duty that just came out, Cold War. Looks great on both. You're not going to be able to say, "Oh, this one looks like crap here or there."
All right, save it for your other podcast.
I'm just saying. That's my quick answer. At the same time, the Xbox is great. Game Pass, Gears of War. There's so many great things on there that I downloaded upgraded versions of. They're good.
And EA Play.
EA Play being part of that. And pro tip that you'll be able to hear all these kind of tips on the LANCave, go to CD Keys and get your memberships there. Get your subscriptions there because you can buy like a year of Game Pass for a crazy discount. I think I got mine for $23 for a year.
Dude,
$23 for, again, go ahead. Sorry.
I was supposed to re-up my Game Pass in March.
Yeah.
It has now been pushed to June. So I have Game Pass for free. It has not charged me.
How'd that happen?
I don't know.
So if you're not lucky like that and you want to do like the for example, Xbox membership for US right now for a year of Game Pass, what is it? I mean, I got mine, I'm trying to find it off here, but like I got mine at I want to say it was like a 40% discount. So 40, and the prices fluctuate, but 40% discount, a 40% discount on Xbox. Yeah, that's crazy because essentially I threw down a little bit of money, and I'm essentially going to have Game Pass for I think almost year and 9 months, year and 10 months at this point. 3 months on Game Pass is $34, down from some 40. So it's not discounted as much as we'd like, but keep watching that stuff dips down and then it gets to be a really good discount. The prices fluctuate. So
snap.
What?
So I'm browsing stuff for our show here today.
Sure.
And I saw a link for Ghostbusters at Walmart.
What?
They've got a Ghostbusters onesie at Walmart.
Ooh.
For $30.
You know what? For $30, I mean, for you, totally worth it.
Okay, no,
I got my onesies. That one works for you, yeah.
No, this cannot happen. I'm not okay with this.
What?
Ghostbusters collection includes all 3 films.
No. Get out of here.
Nope.
Sorry.
To quote George Herbert Walker Bush.
Yep.
No, not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent.
Ghostbusters. The 2016. I can't remember that. So that movie will go down like the same way that Halloween 3 does. If you're not familiar with the Halloween franchise, you familiar with Halloween 3? You know the Halloween franchise, right? The horror films. Halloween. So Halloween 3 does not have Michael Myers in it whatsoever.
Well, I remember Halloween. I think it was 6 with Paul Rudd.
Yeah, that was fun.
I had that movie poster up on my wall.
That one's fun. No, so Halloween went Halloween 1, 2, and they're like direct sequel, and then Halloween 3 was like, we're just going to make this an anthology and not have Michael Myers, and it's going to be about masks that make that are like cursed or some crap.
Uh-huh.
And then they were like, oh, no one liked this. Halloween 4, we bring back Michael Myers. So in passing, if you look back at it, you're like, oh, I'm going to watch all the Halloween movies. You don't want to watch that one. You can skip it. Same with that Ghostbusters movie.
Oh no, if like we just recently went to the movie theater and rented some friends of our and yours rented a movie theater and watched Ghostbusters 2 in the theater.
Yeah, I wish I could have gone.
That was one of the first movies I ever watched in theaters.
Ah, that's cool. Ghostbusters 2?
Yes.
So I'll say that's I feel like Ghostbusters 2 is how I feel about like Return of the Jedi, where I used to think Return of the Jedi was the best Star Wars movie when I was like, in middle school. And then I realized how good Empire Strikes Back is, and A New Hope for that matter. Ghostbusters and Gremlins is similar. Gremlins 2. I used to think Gremlins 2 is the best. No, Gremlins 1 is the best, and Ghostbusters 1 is the best. Ghostbusters 2 is good, but the first Ghostbusters is better in my opinion.
Here. Okay, so going back,
they're both good. They're both good. Yeah,
everybody's here. The Snyder Cut.
Yeah,
I'm not feeling the design of Darkseid.
Darkseid,
whatever. I'm not feeling the design. It feels, from the images I've seen, too cartoony.
Yeah, it looks like PlayStation 3 graphics. Yeah.
Yes.
I hope that they update this. I really do. I will say that what we've seen in that, where we see him like taking the staff and like bringing it down, like I think that's the only shot we see of him. That technically is him when he is Uxas before he's become Darkseid. So he would then have armor and have more power later on, but at the same time, graphically, I don't think it looks good. I don't think it looks good at all. You see Desaad in the trailer. He looks a lot better if you Google image search Desaad Snyder Cut.
He kind of looks like what's his face from
Infinity War.
Yeah, was it?
Yeah.
Damn it, I can't think of his name now.
Not Squidward.
No, the one that fought Captain America, Black Widow, and Falcon.
Yeah, totally looks like him. I agree.
But you look at Thanos in the Avengers movies, and yes, he was completely and utterly CGI.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't feel CGI.
Yeah.
You look at Hulk, who is completely CGI.
Mm-hmm.
Did not feel like it.
Yeah.
And that's where DC and Marvel are completely different.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I don't know why they can't get that to work, because you're right. Thanos, when you finally see him like in when you finally see him in Infinity War, because I know we'd seen little glimpses of him, but when you see him fully on screen, you're just watching another character. It's not like, oh, this is the cartoon. This is the Who Framed Roger Rabbit bit, right? Like you kind of forget that Hulk isn't there. You kind of forget that that's CG and that's not Mark Ruffalo who's 10 feet tall. When he's sitting like in the diner, it's just Hulk.
Well, I mean, think of it too. That's almost kind of like, Mustache Gate.
Yeah.
Like Marvel is able to take and make Michael Douglas 50 years or 30 years, 40 years younger, and it not look unnatural.
Yep. Well, and they also in the what is it with what's wrong with me for Guardians of the Galaxy 2 with Kirk Douglas. They used CG. They used a double as well. So you had a double who had some some prosthetics, a little bit of CG. So they mixed Kurt Russell with a stunt double or a face double, body double, whatever you want to call it, and CG all together to make it look like just young, a younger version of him. And it didn't look like Carrie Fisher in Rogue One. It wasn't unsettling.
Very.
I mean, I don't know why DC can't get it together. I really hope that they do. I actually have a friend of mine who he has worked on some previous DC stuff, and he won't go into a lot of the details. He has friends who worked on it, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna let you have your secrets. That Frodo meme. There has to be something there. There has to be something there as to why DC, because DC's got money. Why can't DC make the CG look like Steppenwolf? Steppenwolf looked like crap, and you can't blame Joss Whedon on Steppenwolf looking like crap. I mean, and
kind of
I'm not going to blame him for that, because he is not the one. He's not the director of the was art direction and CGI direction. Like, they literally have someone who oversees that, and that person should have given him something that wasn't a polished turd. That's how I feel about it.
No, I 100% agree.
Sorry, but I will say that Desaad looks good.
Corvus Glaive.
Yeah.
He looks just like like I'm looking at a picture of Desaad.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like
Yeah.
They
It's almost like a copy paste job. I don't understand that. Like, I know people can say, okay, well, they're limited on design and whatever. I'm like, yeah, but seriously, like if you look at Desaad, and I know again they're taking something from a comic book and they're making it look like what we would imagine it would look like in our world, and none of the ones I'm looking at look like to that extent. They don't look like that. He's got quite a few different looks. Don't look like that. So I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I don't see a picture with Batman blocking with gauntlets.
So in the trailer, and actually I can't remember if he did this in Justice League as in the movie that we've seen, but there is a clip of him blocking Steppenwolf's like flame and stuff with his gauntlets. So Snyder said that the gauntlets and a lot of other things were designed by Alfred. And he hinted at there being a scene where they're discussing the origin of those, and he hinted at them maybe taking a cue from Wonder Woman, because there would have been stories about Wonder Woman's gauntlets. Which would be interesting, him like with Alfred's knowledge and him to say, oh, well, I know about this myth or this person. Maybe Alfred knew someone who fought with her. I don't know. And then he said, you know what? I can take that idea, block with the gauntlets, and have kind of as much as you can do with human technology to make something that can do that. I don't know. It was hinted at, but I don't know. Interesting to me.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch the trailer again.
Yeah.
One thing I'm not okay with, Amber Heard.
Yeah.
Back for Snyder Cut. Beautiful woman.
Back for reshoots. Yeah.
Shit crazy.
Yeah. You don't poop on people's beds. Come on, people. And you don't put makeup on and pretend that you got abused. And you don't stage photos that make it look like your ex who has struggled with the drug addiction is doing drugs when he wasn't. Like okay, you can say there's stuff on both sides, but come on. Terrible person.
No, she is. I'm sure Johnny Depp is not the model citizen that he plays himself off to be.
Sure, but when your spouse is hitting rock bottom, do you take pictures and like archive them away for when you can put them, give them to your lawyers?
No,
you don't. You help your significant other. You help your partner. That's just garbage to me. Like, and that hurts. Like, there's pictures of him, like, where he had got drunk and he passed out in the kitchen or something. It's like, don't take pictures. Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Who does that? Anyways, Amber Heard is getting some reshoots, meaning she's getting some money. Meanwhile, Johnny Depp is out. This is also a cinematic universe. Johnny Depp is out as Grindelwald in Fantastic Beasts.
I thought it was Grindelwald.
I don't know.
I've never watched them, so I think I've seen one Harry Potter film.
I love Harry Potter. I thought Grindelwald. Yeah. I love the Harry Potter movies. The first Fantastic Beasts movie was okay, and I didn't like the second Fantastic Beasts movie, and I feel like I just anyways. Depp, honestly, it was Colin Farrell who we thought was the villain in Fantastic Beasts. Spoilers for that movie. And then it turns out, he's in disguise. It's actually this evil wizard who is disguising himself as Colin Farrell. And I thought, man, you took almost a down step. I love Johnny Depp, but I think Colin Farrell's a better villain than Johnny Depp. And we're going to see him as Penguin. So he's going to get to be a villain, really, really a villain. But I don't know. To me, I thought that was kind of a weird shift. Like, why did that happen? Weird casting. So rumor is that Mads Mikkelsen is going to replace him. And I love Mads, but firing Johnny Depp because of the legal stuff and because of the bad publicity, but letting Amber Heard continue to work is a little sexist in my opinion.
Agreed. So what are you looking the most forward to from the Snyder Cut? which is apparently going to be, 6 hours?
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard 4. Now I've hearing 6. I'm looking for honestly, I'm looking for a nice cohesive version of the story that Snyder wanted to tell, right? Like if you've watched the director's ultra giant cut of Watchmen, it's really good if you can sit through it. And I think that what's that?
How long is it?
There's I have to look because there's one that integrates the comic art, the animation part into it. I think it's the ultimate cut, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to double check. There's one 4 hours. Oh, 3.5. Sorry. Where's the director's cut? There's a longer cut than this. I'm not liking what I'm seeing here because there's one that took the movie and also added in additional 215 minutes, maybe. I don't know. I'll have to look. I could have sworn there was one that was over 4 hours that adds the animated Tales of the Black Pearl, which is part of the comic book, that adds it to that. So it's good, but a lot of people don't want to sit for over 3 hours and watch a movie like Lord of the Rings. I like Lord of the Rings, don't get me wrong, but the average person doesn't want to sit that long, I don't think.
No.
Sorry, Black Freighter is what I was thinking. Tales of Black Freighter. I was thinking of Black Pearl with Johnny Depp and everything. Yeah. So honestly, that's what I'm looking for. I want to see a cohesive, a good story. It's long form. It's episodic. That's fine. We got things like Mandalorian and others where, in honesty, Mandalorian may be best if you're watching it. I think binging Mandalorian may be better, at least season 1, than watching it episodically. That's just me. But telling long form stories like this, to tell a 4-hour or 6-hour story broken up as episodes, I think is a really good way to digest it. You know, people can take it chunk by chunk, or they can watch it in its entirety. Either way.
So I'm looking forward to actually seeing the black suit on the big.
Yeah. Man, it makes me wonder how much of this is going to be reshoots. How much is reshot, and how much did they keep enough of, to allow, and what was his actual plan? Which I swear I feel like we're going to be in a George Lucas situation here, where he says a bunch of things that he's like, oh, my plan was always to do this. My plan was always to have this happen, and it wasn't. Like George Lucas saying, "Oh well, Luke and Leia were always brother and sister, and Vader was always Luke and Leia's father." And no, we know that's not true. Come on, it's revisionism. So I don't know what we're going to see in regards to that. Like I don't know if we're ever going to get a clear answer on some of these things. Like we did at least get a clear answer on this. Jared Leto coming back to do Joker.
So apparently, from what I've seen,
I
was about to say from what I've been told.
Yep.
From what I've seen, it's going to be a flashback to him killing Robin.
Okay, and that would work in the context of this movie. So I'm okay with that. They're not trying to,
I think it would have worked better in Batman v Superman.
Yeah,
to show why. Because this movie's all about Batman rebuilding his hope in humanity after Superman's death.
Sure.
It would have been better in Batman v Superman to show why he is the way he is.
I agree. And that's where I feel, and Snyder did say this was never part of the plan. He did not have Leto in the plan. He didn't have Joker in the plan originally. So he was honest about that. I'm not saying that he's dishonest. I'm just saying this allows for some revisionism, and Joker was never part of the plan. He has said, hey, it wasn't part of the Justice League Part 1. I'm not sure if it was supposed to be in Justice League Part 2, because I feel like Snyder is now doing what he feels like. I feel like he's pushing in everything he wished he could have done, because this may be his last effort and last thing that he does for Warner, or maybe they'll move him in a different capacity. So I feel like this is him getting to do whatever he wants. and it's fan service, it's director service because he's able to do what he wants, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't know why this is there. I don't know why we need Joker. I don't know why we need Jared Leto Joker at all, and I really don't know why we need him in this movie at least. But yeah, I feel like he's just doing what he can because he's not going to get another chance. I don't think.
Here's the thing: in the beginning of Suicide Squad, the original one, not the new one,
Mm-hmm.
Ben Affleck's Batman is there facing off against Leto's Joker.
Mm-hmm.
That's why if they're gonna have the Joker, it's gonna be Leto's Joker.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't like Jared Leto's Joker. I don't think he's right. I don't think he's right for any of this project. In for multiple reasons. I don't think that that's right for him. I think we just need to forget about that movie, and I think we need to forget about that version of Joker. So the quote that Snyder had on this, though, he said, of course, he said, I wanted to, of course, honor what had been created with him because I thought it was really cool. And then he says, but there's some water that has gone under the proverbial bridge between when last we saw Joker and this appearance. He's a road weary Joker. I guess that's a way of saying it. I hope that means that he's going to make a little bit of design changes enough to maybe get rid of some of them tattoos. That damaged tattoo is terrible. And you can't do it. And it's a default font you can get off of Photoshop. Like no one drew that. That's a font that you can just type in. How lazy is that?
No, that's absolutely lazy.
And ask your local tattoo artists if you can get line work to look like that on the forehead. Ain't gonna happen. So, long story short, I would rather that if Leto's in it, I'd rather it be like, let's just ignore what we did with Joker before. We're just going to move on, and we're going to have a new Leto Joker of Joker 2.0, right?
Okay, no, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're all going to be waiting, for when the official date is released.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, this is not going to be a theater situation.
Yeah.
Because God only knows when that would be.
Yeah,
I do know Pfizer, if I'm getting into, stuff like that, apparently Pfizer's vaccine is showing 95% effectiveness with 0 side effects.
Yep. I heard 90, but that's still better than the flu. That's better than any flu vaccine. I think it's better than the measles vaccine as well, if I'm not mistaken. Because the idea is if you can get 90%, then the 10% who do have it are very less of a chance to be able to spread it to people who are not immunized. That's really how it works. You're reducing that percentage. I'm really hopeful on it. And I'm glad that Pfizer went out and said no, because I don't know if you saw Pence said that he was instrumental in helping, and the administration was instrumental in helping Pfizer deliver this. And then Pfizer came out and said, no, the U.S. government hasn't done anything with us. This is all private. So I thought that was hilarious. But the other thing about it is the scientists who worked on it are 2 Muslim immigrants. So how cool is that?
Wow, that's very cool. No politics.
I'm just saying.
I don't talk politics.
I'm just saying. It's 2020, and if you say something and it's wrong, everyone's gonna fact check you immediately. Well, no matter where you are, no matter who you are. People fact check me and flame me in the comments section and on Twitter at how terrible and stupid I am. My comments are.
Actually, that's just me. I just create different Twitter accounts.
I knew it was you.
Of one last cinematic universe before we wrap up, Kevin Williamson took to Twitter and social media to announce that principal photography on the new Scream movie has wrapped up.
Yes.
They have announced the official title for the pseudo reboot.
Ooh, I didn't hear this.
It's just going to be called Scream. No,
I don't like that. Again, back to Halloween. The 2018 Halloween sequel is called Halloween, which is a sequel to the movie called Halloween. I don't like this. Like John Rambo. Is it Rambo? And then, so it's First Blood, then Rambo First Blood Part 2, then Rambo 3. This is confusing.
Hold
Seriously.
on. I got you.
Just make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc.
We got First Blood.
Yep.
Rambo First Blood Part 2.
Yep.
Rambo 3.
Yep.
Rambo.
Mm-hmm. And then
Rambo Last Blood, which shockingly was not that bad.
I haven't seen that one.
I might have enjoyed it.
I haven't seen that one. I'll have to check that out.
But if you like movies, or if you like sports, check out thescrumsports.com. If you like video games,
you can check out TheLanCave. We're on YouTube and Facebook. And if you have this RSS feed, it's already in there. If you're listening to the podcast, if you're watching us on YouTube, same YouTube channel. So you can check us out there. We're live on Facebook every Thursday talking video games and gaming news and all that kind of stuff.
Nerds!
That's right. We run the world.
But that does it for us this week, guys. Thank you for taking time out of your week to listen to us banter. We will talk to you again next week.
Love you, crazy people. Bye.